What's up, everyone? So, in this podcast, Mr. Pendarvis Williams participated. So, I'm sure it will be fascinating to you all. So, how are you, Penny?
I'm good. I'm good. Thanks for having me, bro. Thanks for
Okay,
having me.
it's okay. Um, the season has just ended, unfortunately. Um,
Yes.
it was a very competitive series. For me, it's nice to see Mongolian top import players to play against each other, like Cousins and you, Ahmad, and Lance. So I'm sure it was tough loss. So after tough, so here's the question: after tough losses, how did you motivate, or how do you overcome it?
Well, now it's different because the season's over. But throughout the series, we just try to prepare for the next game. So not try to be too high or too low. Just try to figure out ways, to be better for that following game. So just keep your head up and keep moving forward.
Mhm. So Ahmad and you rivalry played against each other, and it was very nice to see. And so sometimes players can play bad because they're human, I think.
Oh yeah, happens to the best. People have good games, they have bad games. It happens.
So when sometimes some players play bad, like when you're struggling with a performance or confidence, how do you motivate yourself in the during the game?
Most, the shot always isn't going to fall. Some things you just can't control, but what you can always control is your effort.
Mhm,
So even if I'm not scoring,
mhm,
I try to do other things, play good defense, and make the right passes, take care of the ball, not turning the ball over, rebounding, just doing other things that help the team win besides scoring the ball.
mhm. So now let's talk about your childhood and early life. So for me, I've been playing basketball for 10 years. Now I'm 17 years old,
Mhm.
so um, it's almost a decade for now. So can you tell us your hometown? How was your childhood? And when did you and how did you get interested in basketball for the first time?
For as long as I can remember, man, I love basketball.
Mhm,
Growing up in Philly, my parents always put me in leagues.
mhm,
So I started out in the league called Concerned Parents Network, and I was about 5 years old,
mhm,
and
fine.
the games were on Saturdays. So I would always look forward to Saturdays,
Mhm,
to those games, and I've been loving the game ever since.
mhm. So I wonder, American players are so super flashy, super athletic. So like, here's the question: like, how do they practice? They, do they develop their um, basketball skills?
Well, first of all, you just play. Like growing up in
Mm,
Philly, I just used to go around to many different parks throughout the city and just play.
mm,
Before I even started to like work on my game, I just played every day, like all day, every day. But then like as I got older, like high school and things like that, I started training and working on my game to try to get better. But
mm,
the key main thing is to just keep playing, make sure you're playing.
mm. So can you tell us about what's the biggest difference between your EuroLeague and NCAA?
EuroLeague and NCAA are completely different.
Mm,
College NCAA is college, and you got most people are between like 18 to 22 years old, and you're in school.
mm,
Student athlete. First of all, if you don't have the right grades,
mm,
you can't play. Then, but Europe, it's professional, grown men. This is how people provide for their families.
mm.
Rules are a little bit different, so it's like a completely different game.
In EuroLeague, it's much harder than NCAA to uh, get points, right?
Oh, definitely. College is more fast paced,
Mm,
but EuroLeague, like I said, it's professional. These guys are getting paid
Mm-hmm.
and every game matters. You know, everybody's fighting for playoff position and things like that. So it's really tough. Mm.
Mm-hmm. So, are you more fascinated in playing in EuroLeague?
Now, so I've never played in EuroLeague. I've played in Europe. I've played against
Mm-hmm.
different EuroLeague teams, but I've
Oh.
never played in the EuroLeague. So
Mm-hmm.
like I played in Germany, and we would play against Alba Berlin, who was in EuroLeague.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and at that time, they actually had a young Franz Wagner. He's on the Orlando Magic.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then Bayern Munich is another EuroLeague team. So I got the chance to play against those two EuroLeague teams. But like I said, I never played in the EuroLeague.
Mm-hmm. So, for aspiring teenager, for example, teenager players, they took they take a lot of responsibility, such as school and practice. So for
Yeah.
me, like I usually get 6 hours of sleep because of school and best practice. So, how did you used to manage your time when you were in college?
Well, college, you know, we have different things. Like, so we have study hall
Mm-hmm.
during the day where, you know, everybody has a certain time. You go in there and get your work done.
Mm-hmm.
Then we'll have practice throughout the day. You might have a workout throughout the day, then team practice, and then rest of the day is to yourself. College is a lot of freedom, but being an athlete is kind of tough. You don't have as much freedom as a normal student would, but you still have a lot of freedom though. But time, time is time is. You still have plenty of time throughout the day.
Mm-hmm.
I would make sure I take naps during the day as well. I love taking naps. You know, making sure I'm eating things like that. But I always would make sure I get like 6 or 7, at least like 7 hours of sleep every day.
Mm-hmm. So I think some professional players or just college students don't have time to date girl, date with a girl. So what advice would you give to college students, like aspiring players?
Well, you know, just work hard, man. Only thing is work hard,
Mm,
focus on what matters. Because, like I said, being a student athlete, your work comes first. Because if you
mm,
don't have the right grades, you're not able to play. So
mm,
you always got to make sure you're staying on top of your work. And then, like I said, you got to manage your time well. Make sure you're in the gym, improving your game,
mm,
so that you're ready for your season.
mm, mm. So how do you prepare for a big game such as playoffs or finals?
Well, you know, throughout the week, you know, we're practicing, watching video on whoever we're playing,
Mm-hmm.
and then you know the coach gives us a game plan. But for me, you know, I'm just making sure I'm staying focused because the game is more mental than it is physical.
Mm-hmm.
So like, you gotta always make sure you're confident in yourself. Make sure your mind is always in the right place because if not, your whole game will be thrown off.
Mm-hmm.
So I just make sure like I'm in the right mindset.
Mm-hmm. Do you think that you'll come to Mongolian again? This is your third time, right?
I'm not sure yet. Only time will tell.
During the podcast, PSN's podcast, you said that you're going to retire last year. So, what do you think about your next chapter?
No, so I was saying before I came here my first year,
Mm-hmm.
I was considering retirement,
Mm-hmm.
uh, but ended up coming here and doing well. And, but the next chapter, I'm looking forward to the next chapter, man. I miss being home with my family.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I mean, it's going to be some. It's going to be different. I'm probably going to stay around the game as well. Maybe
Mm-hmm.
get into some coaching,
And coach.
um, training,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm probably going to open up my own gym where I live in Las Vegas.
Mm-hmm. Skill coaching is more suitable, I think, for you.
Coaching is tough though. Coaching is
Mm,
tough. It's a tough job, especially in America right now. All the kids, everybody thinks they know everything.
mm,
So too much ego, things
mm,
like this. I might have to wait till I get a little bit older,
mm.
get some a little more patience before I get into coaching.
Would you like to coach your kid, your son?
Oh yes, I have two sons.
Mm,
My son trains with me all the time. He loves training. I'm not sure if I really want to coach him. I think I'd rather just want to enjoy it, you know.
mm,
Yeah, so just be a fan of him, you know, and just try to guide him the right way.
mm. So I'd like to ask you about success. So everyone defines success as their own, on their own. So how do you define it?
Uh, Success. Good question. Good question. Success to me is just having my friends and family proud, you
Mm-hmm.
know, just something that my people can be proud of.
Mm-hmm.
That's all it is to me. I mean, I don't, life's full of ups and downs, but as long as I know I have people like that are proud of me and appreciate what I do, then I feel like I've done a good job.
Mm-hmm. So what other advice would you give to aspiring teenagers, like that you wish you knew earlier? Like,
Mm, Wish I knew earlier. Well, like I said, with the mind, always make sure you always believe in yourself. Because sometimes I used to battle
mm,
with myself with confidence at times,
mm,
and confidence is key in any and everything that you do.
mm,
So just always, like I said, make sure you're in the right mindset and in the right mental space, and no matter what it is, whether it's sports or pursuing to be a lawyer or a doctor, you always gotta believe in yourself
mm,
and don't doubt yourself. All that's gonna do is just help you limit yourself. So just always believe in yourself in any and everything that you do.
mm. So what's the most important thing that to reach your goal, like discipline or consistency?
No, it's a lot of different things. It's not just one particular thing. You
Mm,
know, it's commitment,
mm,
consistency, discipline, dedication.
mm,
All these things tie into, you know, reaching your goals and getting to where you want to be.
mm. So um, before the game started, um, as a Mongolian national song anthem, like started, like you were like this, and even some import players such as Cousins, they don't do like this. So it's I think it's a sign of respect, and that's how professional players should be. I definitely think so. Um,
Oh yeah, it's definitely, you know, just a sign of respect. My first year here, one of the players on the minors. At first, I wasn't doing it either, but
mhm,
he tapped me. It was like, you do it. Then I started doing. I've been doing it ever since, and I haven't stopped. But it's definitely just a sign of respect, you know, to the country and the Mongolian people here. And I don't mind doing it.
mhm. So I appreciate it. So you're you definitely you're the most um, best players that ever came in Mongolia. So I appreciate your acceptance of our invitation.
Oh man, I appreciate you. Thanks for having me. Thanks for having me.
Mhm.
I come with a gift for you guys,
Oh,
man.
thank you.
So this is championship bag from when I had the minors up,
I appreciate.
but inside is some of my shoes that I signed for you.
Thank you.
No
Thank you.
problem, bro. No problem.
I think you were in
FPGs.
the championship.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, those are some of my favorite shoes. They're so comfortable.
Mm. Thank you.
but it was time to let him go, and I was like, bring him here for you.
Thank you.
No problem, bro. No problem.
Mm. So I never imagined like talking to you like this.
Oh yeah,
So
all good.
few years ago, like I was going to stop playing basketball because I'm not tall, I'm not too flashy.
Oh, you don't got
But
to be tall. It's all about
mm,
your heart. Size isn't everything, but it's all about your heart. That's all that matters. And if you love the game, whether you're big or small,
mm,
continue to play.
mm. So this is I never mentioned. So thank you, and thank you for accepting our invitation. So good luck to your next chapter and next life. So yeah,
No problem. Thanks for having me.
yeah,
It was a pleasure, my man.
I appreciate you. Thank you. That was that. Yeah.